think it's right at 10:30, so for respect of everyone's time, we'll get started promptly. Go ahead and grab your donuts, and then you can find your seat. So I want to go over a couple updates we have for the community, but we have a couple visitors in the house today, so I just wanted to mention, I know I had already announced that my boss, Sherry Robinson, would be here. And we also have, she's our neighbor now, Jill Sorensen, our VP of Operations, Senior VP of Operations, and Amy Waugh, our regional sales, who probably sold something in your apartment. So I know you see a couple of them here today. Just wanted to make sure you knew who they were, and we'll get started. Please do silence your phones so everyone that is currently here in person and watching from home can hear any of the questions and feedback. And we will go ahead and get started with any resident announcements. So any updates or announcements we have? Yes, sir. Mr. Tony, what you got for us?
I just wanted to announce.
Gotta turn it on. We failed you, Tony, I'm sorry.
Okay, so next week in this auditorium at 2 o'clock, that's on the 12th, we'll present a program, and it's open to all residents. I'm going to make sure that everybody realizes our programs are open to all residents. We have a very distinguished speaker, and he's going to talk about the Berlin Wall.
And who is that distinguished speaker? We look forward to your speech. Yes, Ms. Andrea. Thank you, Betsy.
Good morning, everybody. Okay. I just wanted to, first of all, thank everybody for the support that they gave to the theater group when we put on our performances last week. Everybody was wonderful.
Little closer.
All right, is that better?
Yes.
Okay. But what I really wanted to talk about was all the help that we got putting it together, because our associates have been just phenomenal. I mean, Ginger and Samantha, of course, did their things, and we really appreciated them. And then Chef Tony and his crew came through with a marvelous, marvelous dinner. And they had to haul it all down here from the dining room, the kitchens upstairs. So they put in a lot. The servers put in a lot. Wanda supplied me with worn out sheets to make the costumes out of. And everybody, a lot of ways along the line, really helped us. And that's why I'm really glad we were raising money for the Employee Gift Fund. But of course, we need more money for the Employee Gift Fund, because we've got a lot of employees who we want to be able to be generous with in a couple of weeks. So it's not too late to get your money in, and please be generous. Thank you.
Thank you. So I do have to say, I attended myself, and I was just so impressed. Miss Andrea is very humble, but she actually wrote it and made over 50% of the costumes, her and some other residents. So, absolutely fantastic. Thank you all. It was hilarious. I enjoyed every bit of my time, and look forward to the next one. It was a lot of fun. So thank you again for all your hard work on that. Any other announcements? No? Okay, we'll get started with just a couple updates from the community leadership. So just a reminder, next week, next Tuesday, instead of Tuesday Talk, here at 10:30, we will do our quarterly forum. So that's our quarterly meeting with all of our residents for the purpose of free discussion. We'll go over all of our financials and quarterly updates, policy changes, and anything pertinent from each department. So please do make sure that you attend. That is an update from every one of the directors to the resident body to go over everything we've done all quarter long. So again, next Tuesday at 10:30 here in Town Hall. A little bit from IHS. Thank you for the donuts today from Grace Home Health and IHS, Christine and Joanne. We appreciate it. So we do want to thank all the residents that participated in the parade for the pets at Halloween. It was super cute. We have some good photos. I know Missy won the contest, but we really enjoyed that. So thank you for all of those that got your pets dressed up and brought them to the breezeway to show them off. We did want to remind you, we do continue to have some pet issues with some of their little business. So we want to remind you that IHS can help you with that. If you need help walking your pets, toileting them, cleaning up after them, anything that you need, we can help you with those pets. And then just to please contact them at extension 502 or 503. So these are some of the pictures. Got some of the little pups there. No, I don't see any cats. I guess cats don't like to be dressed up that much. But we got all our little puppies through there, and I know Missy was the winner. So if you didn't get to make it, here's just a couple photos. It was super cute.
Which one's missing? Which one's missing? Which one's missing?
Oh, which one's Missy is right down there in the left bottom right. Left bottom corner.
She's in the basket.
Left bottom corner. Let me Vanna White for you all. This is Missy. Right here, left bottom right corner. Clear as mud. So going back to our pets, we are having some issues. I continue getting emails and photos of little brown things, and I want to make sure that we can clean up after our community and after our pets. So please, please, please remember you are responsible. Please make sure you are walking them in the appropriate areas. And again, IHS is happy to help if that is a problem or if you need additional assistance. Another little reminder, I know we have had some ongoing issues. Please make sure we are returning the luggage carts, the wheelchairs, and any of those small items that we are storing for everyone's use. We do ask that you're respectful to your neighbors and get all of those returned. Wheelchairs, walkers, sometimes those are needed from the front desk, whether it be a visitor, a vendor, a resident returning from the hospital. So please, between the luggage carts and the wheelchairs, make sure we get those returned. Appreciate that. So we did actually notice this from a couple residents as well. So Betsy wanted to remind you, when we are dialing out Regency Oaks, the outgoing line is the 727-229-8446. This is not spam. Some residents have inadvertently blocked Regency Oaks from calling you. Therefore, you're probably not getting our one calls and our text them alls and call them alls because you've blocked us. So we just want to make sure that we can double check this number for you, and Betsy can help you if there's any other questions that you have with this. But we have found that some residents have blocked this number, so you're not getting our correspondence. So I just wanted to make sure you have that so you can get all of our information and communication. So we have a lot of projects going on this week. As I mentioned last Tuesday, we've got 360 Fire and Flood here doing remediation. We've got Blue Team that will be coming back on site to finish our carpet project, and we are still finalizing the pendant project. So Life Safety Pendant is actually back on site this week. They are doing additional testing for more locators and additional mapping, and they will be doing that on Wednesday and Thursday. So we will be getting communication out to you if they need to come to your home. So we are still working with them on exactly what areas they need to get to finalize this project. They actually have their main top engineers from RCARE, which is the program, here to kind of help finalize some of those mapping and zoning areas. So more to come, nothing for you to do. We will communicate with you in the event we do need to get into your apartment. So just want to make sure you are notified and aware. Just a little bit from Evan. He wanted to remind you it is around Christmas and holiday time, so we can do those carpet cleaning, deep cleaning, and dusting services. He's doing a nice special for you. You okay? He's doing a nice special for you as low as $25, but we want to make sure we can get in there and get your home ready for any visitors you have. This, of course, is above and beyond your standard cleaning services. So we would definitely love to help you with all of that. So please just contact Evan at extension 508. Our schedule for Clearwater Carpets, the North Building first floor, be November 5th. North Building 5th floor, November 6th, and South Building 5th floor, November 7th. So we are still having an external company help us to keep all of our corridors and our carpets clean, and this is their pending schedule for this week. We'll continue to communicate moving into the following weeks. So this was another fun event we had last week. Really enjoyed it. And again, thank you to all the residents who came and hung out with us. It was really nice to get dressed up and just have a good meal from Chick-fil-A and spend time with the residents and the staff. So environmental services, as you can imagine, our Wanda really showed out for us, as she always does. There's Wanda in all photos, so you don't really... So she's in the top left, top right, bottom right. Wanda's the star of the show for sure. But they were actually the top winner for our costume contest. And if you were there, hold on. We've got our sales team as well. The number one. And so sales team was second place, and Wanda in Environmental Services was first place. Evan took fourth place as Wanda. So if you can see, that is Evan right there. He is wearing high-heeled boots, and he has a blower. So for Halloween, Evan was Wanda, and that was equally hilarious. So we really had a good time. We really enjoyed it. So again, thank you to all the team that participated and all the residents that came out. They really put on a good show and really went all out for their costumes. So the R-Wing residents can be happy. Miss Martha is back from her vacation, so you should have your housekeeper back for the R-Wing residents. And that's just a couple of her photos from her lovely vacation. So as we mentioned, we always like to communicate when your housekeepers are on vacation so you know if there's any changes to your services, because we know that you're particular about that, and she's back. So we still have the vacation for a couple of the others. So a little bit of update from plant, so that's Darwin and Chris and our team. We had about 65 completed work orders, 58 are still open. Again, a big focus has been on a lot of remediation. 360 Fire and Flood is here continuing to finish the moisture mapping in our units and corridors and external debris removal. Elevator 1 in the north is back online. We did not steal parts from the S-Wing elevator. I never tell her saying. And we did not. We actually are working with TKE to get to the bottom of exactly what was going on with that elevator. But the north is back online, the south is back online, and the S-Wing is down, and we have a ticket out for that one. So the main board and the fire panel is here today. We are continuing to do some work on that. Piper Fire is on site. That is in progress with a couple of items. So I will report on that as soon as we have a conclusion, but they are on site working on it right now. We are repairing the light poles and the broken globes. I know many of those were damaged in the storms, and we have ordered them and now are replacing those. Repaired some of the units in the healthcare center, and we repaired the doors in the south trash room and the M wing door. We did repair the pool door and the north lobby door, and we are going to be starting the tarmac replacement. If you recall, that is required by our lender. We are doing a quarter each year. That next project, phase 2, will begin on 12/2. So we will begin the paving project on 12/2. So just a little bit from 360 Fire and Flood. They are going to be beginning on the north today, Tuesday the 5th. We do anticipate completing the mitigation about 6 to 8 units daily, depending on the moisture mapping, the access, and any damage. And then we will move into the south. The initial goal is to complete all resident apartments by end of November. The common areas such as dining rooms, marketing, sales office, my office will be done before Thanksgiving, a little bit after. And we will be sending communication out. Every residence issue, some are a little different. Some were water intrusion from the lanai, some were water intrusion from roofs. So everyone's issue is a little different, so not everyone is in the exact same stage. Right about now, they have deployed all of their dehumidifying equipment into the apartments, and we will be removing those. And depending on the status, we will be starting any type of small demolition in the apartments that require it. It's not a whole lot, but we are still trying to determine those. So more information to come. We're not just holding information from you. We do have to start with step 1, see the results of step 1, and then move into step 2. So Betsy has been monumental in communicating in this process and working with myself and the company to make sure that we are getting that communication out to each resident, because everyone is in a little different phase. So more to come. We'll continue getting that communication. As of now, the equipment is in the apartments, drying out any of the water damage, and they will be removing that equipment. So just a little bit reminders from resident services. Kelly says your wellness team is here for you. They are inside their offices, but mostly inside your homes frequently throughout the day. So they just wanted to remind you that they will be checking their voicemails. They're not always at their desk, so please do just leave a detailed voicemail and they will return your call. If there is an urgent need, of course, please press your pendant. Call a front desk, call 911. And if there's anything that needs to be addressed the same day, please make sure that you leave that message for them. So I know that there's been a little bit about how frequently or how quickly they're getting back to you. And a lot of times they are inside resident homes doing wellness checks and codes and various things throughout the day. So just a reminder, please leave a message and we will most certainly get back to you. Wanted to also remind you, make sure that you have signed your emergency contract with IHS, just in case you ever need assistance. In the event you end up having a hospitalization and you have a pet at home, IHS can come in and immediately begin caring for your pet while you're in the hospital if you have already preemptively executed that contract. So, we've mentioned it numerous times. It's very helpful to have that signed in advance so IHS can help you in the event you need it, because sometimes it's not planned. So just a couple wellness events that are coming soon. Wellness team is working with Lighthouse for the blind and low vision to bring you more information, so they'll have more details to come. And then Clear Captions offers no cost to you captioned home telephone. This is fully covered by your Medicare, so she's going to be sending more information for that as well. So lots of things Kelly and Carol are working on to help you, and they'll be getting more information out about that. So Ginger has nothing going on this week. Might as well just send her home. But Tuesday, today of course, we have Basic Principles of Judaism with Elaine Markowitz at 2 p.m. in Sports Lounge. Wednesday, November 6th is the jewelry sale. We're all excited about that, from 8 to 12, Grand Lobby South. Wednesday, November 6th, Understanding Integrative Medicine with speaker Dr. Leon. That is at 3 p.m. in the Town Hall. Friday, November 8th is our art show and sale from 8 to 5 here in the Town Hall. And our Eastlake High School tech team is coming to help at 3 p.m. in Grand Lobby South. So again, any electronics, any iPhone, any Android, any IT issues you have that we haven't been able to help you with, our tech team can help you. And they'll be here at 3 p.m. in Grand Lobby South. And then Saturday, November 9th, the Chocolatiers palette will be here at 1 p.m. here in the town hall. Yeah, I know. Are we excited about that one? And then Katie Ingleson, the entertainer, will be here at 7 p.m. in Town Hall. So got a lot of events going on throughout this week. So just a little update from sales. We actually ended October with 3 sales on a budget of 3. Our November 7th Gift of Life Care is actually full, and we have a overflow event scheduled for November 21st. So really excited about that. As you know, as ambassadors and residents, these events are vital to the growth of our sales efforts and our occupancy process. So it's really wonderful when we are full. I'm sure Amy happy, aren't you, Amy? So it's really lovely to see that, and then we're happy to even have an overflow. So thank you as always to our ambassadors and our marketing committee that help with all of these efforts. And I know Aaron has also tasked the counselors, Lucy, Valerie, and Kate, with a lunch and learn of their own. So they are going to be doing, hosting a small group of guests on a choice of their topic. And they're going to be doing this in addition to our events. So I know they're working with a couple of our ambassadors on those, but very excited at those additional. They're more smaller, unique, and cater to events for specific of our possible prospects. So again, as always, thank you ambassadors for all of your cooperation and collaboration helping with these. Excuse me, my allergies are getting to me. So as far as for our food and beverage, I know they have a very, very full next 2 months. We've sent out their calendar for November and December. I think they have something every single day. So looking forward to this time of year to spend time with all of you. But they do have their wine club is scheduled for Tuesday the 12th. Beer club is scheduled for Tuesday the 19th. Pasta night is on Wednesday the 13th. Their food and wine pairing is Thursday the 21st. And as always, we want to remind you we have our beautiful brick and vine, so please do remember if you'd like any formal, nice little get together with your friends or family, you can book your brick and vine now and have Chef Tony and Ricky host you and your guests. So I know you had mentioned the weather's getting beautiful. We want to make sure we're using our amenities. So we will start our, as Ricky says, grilling and chilling with Ricky and Dustin today, with 2 A's apparently, at 4 p.m. I missed that spell check. So they're going to be doing grilled burgers, sides, desserts, and complimentary fall cocktails in the Breezeway. And that again is today at 4 p.m. Please do make a reservation. He said he already has about 80, which is fantastic. So that's quite a crowd. To come out and enjoy the beautiful weather. It's starting to cool off. We've got our grill, our pizza oven, our Breezeway, and join us for that. There is no cap on the number of reservations, but please do make one so they know the type of food to prep for. These are just more pictures from the Halloween festival. You see our M&Ms of the sales team. There's Kyle, he's a Greek god. Then there's some lady next to him. I don't know who that is.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So just a little follow-up from me. The south and the north elevator are back up. We have placed new elevators, brand new elevators on CapEx request. Still have not received results of that. And the S-Wing is down and a ticket has been placed. I mentioned 360 Fire and Flood, so we kind of covered that part. I mentioned the fire panel. They are here this morning. I believe the alarms went off again. We are so sorry about that. I'm sorry, that's gotta be scary. Sorry for the inconvenience, and we are working to get that fixed. So they might go on again today as they're working on the panel. We do apologize in advance for that. I know how loud and uncomfortable it is. So as I mentioned, we have completed the MSP, our internal IT company. We are still working out a couple kinks from that change. There are major infrastructure changes. I know we're having some glitches with the Oaks, so thank you, Miss Mary Ellen, for bringing that to our attention. I have submitted a ticket with our IT company so we can make sure that there are no distribution issues with the Oaks. And we're finishing, probably this week, we should get a lot of this worked out so everything is back on track. But when you change from one major IT company to another, there has been a little bit that they've had to figure out. So they're here again, working through all of those. Hopefully we'll have some permanent resolutions by the end of the week. As I mentioned, senior safety, our printed provider is back this week. We'll have more information on that. I know they're doing their assessment now. They got here about, 8:30, 9 o'clock this morning? And then we did just want to remind you, if you do have any of those little red tags from Fire 360, please leave those in place. That is the information that they need for their remediation efforts. So they won't be there long, but please do leave them there for now. And now I mentioned, but we will be starting the carpet and flooring renovations again. So Blue Team will be here around 1 o'clock today. I will be walking and meeting with them to go over all of those little red taped areas. So we have began open enrollment for all of our associates. So they have the option of changing their benefits or updating their benefits. So we have began that process with everyone. We are beginning our end of year annual reviews with all of our associates. And I know I've mentioned, but we are hosting our LCS risk management meeting here tomorrow from 9 to 1 p.m. We'll be here in the town hall. So a lot of our sister communities will be on site and some of our corporate team. As I mentioned, I always let you know when Sherry's here, my boss. She's here today with her boss. And then our other boss, Amy with sales. And as I mentioned, we have forum next week. So in place of Tuesday Talk, we will be doing our forum updates. So, I'd be remiss not to mention this. We all know what day it is, right? Just wanted to remind you, we've had this talk before, right? We're all family, we're one community, we're Regency Oaks. We are a diverse and inclusive community. Please be respectful of each other, your beliefs, your neighbors. We are all friends here. We have mentioned we will not allow political items in communal areas. You can have them at your door, but that's about it. We do not want banners or signage in these windows, so if you have them, please remove them. It's not a good look for the aesthetics of our community, and you are most certainly entitled to your opinion and your vote, and I'm sure you have made that known already. I know today's an election day, so I just wanted to make sure we could all come together as one at 4 p.m. for Ricky's Grillin' and Chillin', because we are Regency Oaks, we are one family, and together we're greater. So I want y'all to remember that, okay? All right, that's my soapbox. So with that being said, we have a special thank you. Do we have, have they got here yet? Look at them. Not even here for their appreciation. Did you bring your, did you bring it? Yeah. Okay, well they're not here yet. So, we have a very special thank you that Sherry and Jill would like to present to Kyle and Evan. As I mentioned during the hurricane, my team did a phenomenal job of making sure you all were safe. But what some of you don't know is that Kyle and Evan left the community basically in the middle of the night and helped at our sister communities. So of course that did not fall on deaf ears as far as appreciation from our regional team. So we wanted to be able to present them with that, and they're late. So we'll see when they get here. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd like to pass the mic over to Sherry, and then we can take any questions after this.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, yeah. Okay.
We can do it without them if we have to. We can recognize them without. So anyway, I want to thank Jill for being here. I know she's your neighbor, so you see her from time to time, and Amy. But good morning. for those of you I have not met, Sherry Robinson, Vice President of Operations. I support Lindsay. So I was looking at my calendar this morning, and it was exactly a month ago, on a Tuesday morning, that I was in Punta Gorda. So we have a property there, Southport Square, that you may know about, Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda area. And typically for a hurricane, I will either look at the path of the hurricane and I will start north and head south if I think it's gonna head that way, or I'll start south and head north if we think it's gonna come into the Tampa market. So I started south because Milton was looking like it was gonna be in the Tampa market. So flew into Punta Gorda and started working my way north, I thought, and got there, and we ended up that evening, that was Monday evening, we ended up evacuating a property in Naples that we have, the Glenview at Pelican Bay. And so we evacuated the healthcare center on Monday night, and then on Tuesday morning, we moved the independent living residents over. Got a call late that night from Brian Hess, who's our Lindsay for Southport Square, and Brian said, hey, I'm getting a little rumblings from ACA, that's our regulatory agency, about evacuation. And we've already told them that we are gonna evacuate vertically, which we always do. And actually our hurricane plan says that we will evacuate vertically at that building because it's 2 5-story towers and a 3-story healthcare center. And they're kind of questioning that, so I started to get a little nervous because we were not planning to evacuate. And so I didn't sleep very well that night, woke up about 4:30 on Tuesday morning, and I texted the executive director, Brian, who I knew would be up just like I was, worried. And I said, as soon as it turned 7 o'clock, call ACA, call the regulator, and tell her that we are going to evacuate vertically. And he did. And she said, who did you talk to? And we said, you know, the county administrator, whatever. And she said, I'm gonna call him, I'll call you back. So again, we're very nervous. And she calls back and says, no way you're staying there. You need to evacuate your community and you need to do it right now. So this is Tuesday morning, you know, the storm came in Wednesday night. We were gonna come all the way from Punta Gorda up to Seminole, Florida. So we have a healthcare center there at the Seminole campus that had been empty because the building is going to be sold. And so we began the process of evacuating to Seminole Pavilion, which is what we call the healthcare center there, with 219 very thrilled residents. So about 6 Greyhound sized buses, multiple ambulances, because a lot of people, as you know, could not get on a bus. We had multiple wheelchair vans, and it took us about 7 hours to load those 219 people and head towards Seminole. So sometime during that period of time, Lindsay was enjoying Greece, of course. Texting Lindsay, we're fine here, it's all good. Going back and forth with Kyle and Kyle Bolden here in the healthcare center to make sure that he was okay and just checking on everybody. But I was gonna stay with those residents because the executive director there, Brian, we did not evacuate the independent living. So the plan was Brian will stay with these residents in independent living, and I will move with the healthcare center residents up to Seminole Pavilion. So at some point in this craziness, I get a call from Kyle Bolden, and I see on my phone that it's Kyle, and I think, oh, what problems do I have at Regency with Lindsay out? But it was Kyle to say, hey Sherry, what can I do to help you? And I'm like, are you sure you're okay where you are? He said, we are all here. We have it under control at Regency Oaks, and there's nothing to worry about, but what can I do for you? And I said, Kyle, I'm gonna tell you, it's crazy. I'm not gonna turn down help. And if you think you can, if you think you have the time to help, then please, head on over to Seminole Pavilion. And so long story short, I followed the last bus out of there and arrived at Seminole Pavilion on the Freedom Square campus about 8:30 that night, and walked into pure nothing I can describe except for chaos. So I just walked in. I've told this story to a few people. I walked in, I looked down one hallway, and I looked down the other hallway, and I thought, I may not have this in me. And I walked back outside, and I looked at a still full busload of residents that were sitting there, and I said, I gotta muster it up and get back in there and figure out, how to get this done. So I walked back in, looked down the hallway, I saw Amy Wall, Kyle, and Edmund. And I thought, okay, we're good. We're good to go. We're good to go here. So these guys were just working. We walked into a healthcare center that was empty. And when I tell you empty, it was empty. There was not a bed. There was not there wasn't a soap dispenser in that place. It had been gutted because it was going to be sold. The healthcare center. And so everything that we needed, we took with us in box trucks. So mattresses, linens, blankets, pillows. We took all of our own food. There's a working kitchen in that healthcare center, but we had to take all of our own food because they needed their food for their folks. And so, I'm sorry they can't be here. We are having our assisted living survey. But I did want to recognize, Lindsay helped me out with this, Kyle Bolden and Evan, because they can watch this later, right?
Yep.
Okay. Because
See that?
it was amazing to walk in and see them. Amy won't tell you, but she fell and broke her wrist that night, trying to help us.
That's
And
dedication.
Everybody.
Are you wearing grease? You wear grease?
Everybody, yeah. Lindsay was in Greece.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
let's
you.
go back to
I feel
that.
better.
Let's go back to where Lindsay was. I was supposed to go to Bradenton, so Jill went to Bradenton where, of course, the hurricane came in. But these two guys, I cannot tell you what they did. They never stopped. I mean, you know how, if you know Kyle, how he gets like bright red? Kyle was bright red. I mean, bright red, like sweat was pouring off him. And then the best thing was, they came later and just, said to me, I don't even know, it was maybe 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And they were like, okay, well, I said, you guys go get some rest. By that time, we'd gotten the residents all settled in some sort of semblance of bed, a blow-out mattress for most of them, actually. And we were kind of settled down, things started to get quiet. So I went and sat down at the nurse's station, and it had to be 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I looked up, and Evan was standing in front of me. And I was like, what are you doing here? And he said, I started to lay down to rest, but then I thought, I bet they don't have any mops or mop buckets or cleaning supplies. And so, it was crazy outside. And here was Evan at 3:30 in the morning. I went to the back door and just helped him unload mop buckets and mops and cleaning supplies and everything. And he just tried to get to sleep and couldn't because he was worried that we didn't have enough supplies. So when you see these two gentlemen, they are superstars. And we could not have done it without them. So I hope you will congratulate them.
Yes.
So how was Greece, Lindsay?
Thanks, guys. I don't feel bad enough. So at this time, would you like to say yes? Absolutely. I'll turn it over to Jill Sorensen, our Senior VP.
So Sherry told that story very well, but I would be remiss if I didn't also recognize a couple of other people. And I don't have a certificate to present to them, but I have done some other recognition for them. But Sherry Robinson and Amy Waugh, our Regional Director of Marketing and Sales for the Peak Portfolio. were just nothing short of superstars during an incredibly challenging and difficult situation. And you heard a little bit about that just now from Sherry. But I will tell you, and I'm sure many of you experience this in your own careers, in your own lifetimes. But when challenges happen, you see who your true leaders are.
Yes.
And they rise to the challenge, and they do what has to be done, in this case, for our residents and for our associates, to keep them safe in just unbelievably difficult circumstances. And I told Sherry and Amy this already, but I want to say it in front of all of you. If I had to handpick a team to deal with what's probably been one of the most difficult times in my career, that's who it would have been. It's Sherry Robinson, Amy Waugh, Kyle, Evan, and several others from our team who are not here today. But I just want to say thank you to them for being the amazing co-workers that they are. I respect and love them both so much. I might get emotional here, but some of you know that I'm living here right now because my home is affected in North Reddington Beach from Helene. And I also want to say, and Lindsay, you can't tell your fellow executive directors that I'm
I'm telling them.
I have always known that Regency Oaks was the premier community in this portfolio. But living here on site the last few weeks, I now know exactly why that is. This is a special place. It's filled with special associates who truly understand the meaning of hospitality, friendliness, and family. And they made me feel so welcome. And so have all of you. I see you in the elevators, I see you when I'm out walking my little dogs, and it's just been such a blessing to be able to have this as my temporary home while I work on my house. So thank you to all of you as well.
Thank you, Jill and Sherry. I got up here and cried about 2 weeks ago, so I'm glad you followed. Again, I said that before as well. I appreciate the team. I appreciate the residents. We're so happy to have you here, Jill. I know you've been through a lot, and a lot of our team's been through a lot, but just reminds us that I work for a really, really, really wonderful company. These aren't just regionals sitting up in their house, texting how we're doing, asking how we're doing. They all deployed, and they were boots on the ground, and I told Sherry I'd follow her anywhere, so I'm happy it landed me here at Regency, and I'm just so happy for the community and everything we have within each other. So at this time, I'll take any questions you have. Yes, Miss Summersider.
I really don't have a question. And my name is Summersider. I'm not really an old pole dancer. I would like to tell you all that Betsy was wonderful for us. She was phenomenal, and she did stay in contact with Lindsay the whole time. They worked together, and she can't follow you, Sherry. We're not letting her go, and neither is Betsy. I just wanted to tell you that, and thank you. I'm very happy living here. I've been 3.5 years, and if you don't have any negativity, you're only as happy as you choose to be. Okay? Amen. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Summer. Yes, Chris?
I'm curious, where did you get all the buses and the ambulances and to move that many people? That's a logistical miracle.
That's why I didn't sleep for 3 days. So, of course, we weren't expecting to evacuate, but we had expected to evacuate the Glenview at Pelican Bay. And so the executive director there, Daniel, had made contact with a bus company by the name of Dolphin Transportation. And I hadn't really worked with them before. We had worked with a company called Bus Funders who failed us miserably, by the way. So, just public service announcement. So I called this lady, and I begged her for buses. And so FEMA actually tried to take our buses from us. And so I got wind of that, and I called her and I said, listen, I'm just gonna tell you it's life or death. If I don't get these residents moved, it literally could be life or death. And so Dolphin Transportation got us there and got us back. And then we worked with the county, with Charlotte County, to get these wheelchair transports, and then the ambulances from the county to move the residents who had to go in ambulances and had to go in wheelchair transport. And then we did the same thing in reverse. So the hurricane hit Wednesday night. What I didn't tell you is we were ready to start moving back on Thursday, and the cooling tower went down in that building that we get evacuated from. So I got on the phone with Fire 360, who's working here now. Dan is our rep from there. We used to work with him at LCS, and now he works for Fire 360. And I just said, I need a couple of chillers on a 18-wheeler, because that's the way you get those portable chillers. And I need a generator, and I need a cube of, they call it a cube, of diesel fuel. And I need it now. And so anyway, we wanted to go back on Thursday after the hurricane, but we didn't get those chillers and everything hooked up until Friday. So then I was back on the phone with the same bus company to move back. So there were no problems that did not come up during those 3 days. But we were able, through a lot of prayer and a lot of different contacts with different people, to tell the story about these residents and how they needed to be moved, and they needed to be moved back. And so there were tons of heroes. Thank you,
Jerry. Any other questions?
Thank you. Ed Wilson, could you please clarify the situation on the elevator in the north building, please?
It's working. So the S-wing is currently down. We did not take parts from the S-wing to make the main elevator work. It is working. A tech did come out. We are hoping for forever, but not sure. And we are still waiting to get additional feedback from TKE. But the north elevator is currently working. They were just out basically yesterday. And now the S-wing is down. So the south elevator is up. The north elevator is up. The S-wing is down. We have a ticket placed with TKE, and we will get them out to diagnose that one. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I have one suggestion.
Sure.
If you continue having problems with that north elevator with Lotus, I strongly recommend you contact them and have them analyze the problem. I've dealt with Otis. I'm a construction superintendent, and they are an outstanding company. And I went through a very similar problem over at East Manor, and I finally got them back on the job over there to straighten out their elevators. It's only a suggestion. Thank you.
Thank you for that suggestion. So it's my understanding that this is TKE and it's their parts, and so it's not that simple. Believe me, I would have done that. But we are still working with TKE to get some permanent solutions. But thank you. Any other, yes, Ms. Bobby?
On the subject of the elevator, the reason many of us, myself included, jumped to the conclusion that you had cannibalized the elevator on Savannah Way to fix the central elevator made perfect sense to us, because Chris Swanson did suggest it last week. And you said, no, that can't be done.
Yeah.
So we're saying, well, evidently they figured out how to do it.
No.
Because it all happened almost simultaneously.
I know, isn't that amazing?
So that's why we thought that. And
If it was that simple, I would have
Chris,
done
I
it 3 months ago.
apologize. I accused him last night of being responsible for me having to walk a mile to get my car. But I forgive you, Chris, for that and many other things right now. So, anyway, we're glad to know
Yes.
that you're actually working on getting ours repaired
Of
too,
course.
because Savannah Way is very important elevator to
course.
many of us.
Yes. Believe me, if it was that simple, I would have done it 3 months ago. But that is not what we did.
Sure, you know
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
I just have a quick question about voting. Did we have a bus or something that took people?
We did, yes.
Oh, there was sign up, okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
When was that again?
Friday.
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 Yes, ma'am.
Terrific.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Rosa? Sugary glazed donut?
It's our age that make us think like that.
No worries. Thank you, Betsy.
Boy, how lucky we are living here at Regions Anyway, because we care, we'd like to thank all of you residents who donated jewelry for our sale tomorrow. It's going to be in the South Grand lobby. We have a lot of jewelry. Probably most of it will be sold for $2 each. So it's great. Myself, I always pick up things for my great-granddaughters. They love to play grown-up with jewelry on. And it's a great place to pick up some jewelry for the kids. And but we do have beautiful jewelry for sale. So I hope we see everyone at our sale tomorrow morning in the South Grand lobby.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Miss Madden?
I don't need a microphone.
1 second. I think we'll get Betsy's on her way.
That's okay, I've got a big mouth.
She's coming. She's behind you.
Quote, can we go home now?
Yes, absolutely. If there's no more questions, have a beautiful Tuesday. Have the election day and see you tonight at Grilling and Chilling.